Hi, my name's Sean Lewis. Good Godfather is a music project of my invention where I will be following certain themes in songwriting as part of an experiment to develop a different kind of music culture that's rooted in the historic practice of music as a teaching tool. Swandevoo is a media company that I have started that generates media content for the internet, and in collaboration with House of Mourning Media, which is a music publishing company that I'm starting. And if you think of Swandevoo as kind of like a modern record label, but it won't be a record label. I'm gonna generate all kinds of content with myself, starting with just myself for now, and anybody else who needs that kind of assistance in publishing media and wants to work with me in publishing media content for the internet and for, also in printed media form, looking to print vinyl recordings as well as CDs and other media outlets, whether it's music, video, print, written print, graphic art, paintings, sculptures, whatever, you name it. And so far it's just been my slow and steady work. I do things just one at a time. And this project, Good Godfather, is my next attempt at putting together a music performance group where we sing songs about the nerdy stuff that I care about and learn about. So, for my first feat with Good Godfather, I've decided to start a project that should be an ongoing, perpetual project of writing songs, and starting with songs that are about the name of Yehovah, or Yahweh, or the Tetragrammaton, which are these 4 letters in Hebrew: Yod, He, Vav, He. Yod, He, Vav, He. And I'm writing about what that name means, what that's about, and then other incarnations of the name and of the character that the Hebrew scriptures are talking about, and how that breaks down into other geometrical elements as well as cosmological and astronomical elements. And I'm gonna be exploring the history and tradition of how these names have been recorded and recognized and understood. And that means exploring certain mystical aspects in the Jewish mystical tradition, Kabbalah, looking at the Hebrew calendar, looking at the Christian calendar, and the feasts and seasons, the celebrations, and reasons that people gathered around these principles and found reason to celebrate, and how they celebrated and why. And so I found these things to be broken down into, starting with the one name of Yod, letter character Yod. And then how that name then splits off into all the seasons, the ancient 7 planets, stars, and star and the moon, which back then they didn't recognize. So the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, those were too far away from sight. So they ended up with, I didn't write it down, but the moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Jupiter, Mars. I missed Mars. I didn't write it down here, but it's in here. And then this ancient symbol about how the first shall be last and the last shall be first here. This is supposed to be, allegedly, the theory is that this symbol here is one of the, or if not the oldest symbol associated and affiliated with the Messianic Jewish movement out of the 1st century in Israel, centered around the Rabbi Yeshua ben Yosef, who taught about God's kingdom coming to earth as it is in heaven. And that then is reflected in this symbol by the spirit up here at the top, which is the 7 systems, 7 planets, the universe pouring itself into earth through the seed of the sun that died and gives birth to new life. And so what we have here is a closed system of a seed being planted and the seed growing into a tree, and that tree produces new seeds 7-fold, 7 yods. You can't see them up there at the top. There's 7 yods from the one yod which died, which is the end, which is the cross, the symbol of the cross, the T, the Tav, the Tav symbol in Hebrew writing here. Yeah, Tav there, which is like a T. And so those are the kind of things that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to just keep record of it. I'm going to keep posting videos. Oh yeah, you can see it's also the older Tav representations. It's just a simple plus, just the same way as we write T in English here today. And so I'm just letting you know this is what I'm going to be doing. If you guys are, if anyone's interested, please subscribe to my YouTube channel on Good Godfather. I need subscribers, and the more people subscribe to my channel, easier it's going to be for me to make videos. I'm going to be making music. I've already started making beats on a sampler, a Roland sampler, an RS-7000, and laying some guitar tracks over that, playing some drums along to that, and I'll be coming out with some new lyrics. I'm also going to be working on interpreting and sort of translating, not exactly translating, but at least interpreting the ancient liturgies of the ancient early Christian church of the 4th century through the liturgy of St. James, as well as eventually I'll get to Basil and John Chrysostom, but those are going to take a backseat for a long while. The liturgy of St. James is really, really long. Apparently, a lot of versions of it take like 3 hours, or whenever they do, it's a really long liturgy. So I intend to do a modern interpretation of that through my own lens, my own way of thinking, and my own feel and style of music that I play. using modern technology, modern instruments, modern equipment to synthesize that. So stay tuned. Tell people about what I've got going on here. Tell people about this channel if that sounds interesting to you, and we'll generate some content for you that you can enjoy. Peace, blessings from Media